Welcome to this episode of Toysbackzen. Last couple weeks, I was driving across 4 provinces in Canada, from Ontario to Nova Scotia, and I did manage to visit a couple toy stores on my way. This store was found in St. John, New Brunswick. There's a couple things in this store that I was interested in getting, and I'll reveal what I get at the end of this segment. I really like this van actually. I do have one, but it's incomplete, and this one seemed pretty complete. Had all the pieces and everything that you put on the front. Although everything was nicely faced to the front of the shelves, if you look behind some of the product, you would have noticed more stuff in behind. There's some Indiana Jones, Star Wars, a couple boxed G.I. Joe I saw there. Here we have some Combiner Wars Transformers. I do have quite a few of these, and I was looking for some key pieces to complete some of them, but he didn't have any that I did not already have. Here we've got some Big Jim vehicles and some G.I. Joe vehicles from the 60s and 70s. And I saw that G.I. Joe lunchbox. I almost got it, but it was just a little bit too pricey for me. Lots of Funko Pops like you see everywhere. I tend to stay away from those. Has some Masters of the Universe. Going back into the main room, there's another room on the left. See a Night Raven here up on the top. I love that vehicle. I'm always actively trying to buy these Playmates Star Trek figures. I really like this one here. A lot of these figures I don't think I have in my collection. Maybe one or two. If you see anything in this video that you would have bought, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear the things that you would have picked up. Wow, this lunchbox brings back a lot of memories. Here's something that is really cool. A Dick Tracy police car. And some carded figures there too. So that was the collectible toys in New Brunswick, the toy store, run by Rob, so go check him out. On my way back, we went to Kingston and I went to Action Packed Comics. Although he is a comic store, he had quite a few figures on display. I did find a figure that I really wanted, and my son got one too. So after 10 days of being on the road, I finally get home with the two things that I purchased. First, let's take a look at this Super 7 Thundercats Mumra. This guy had this. It's got the look of the vintage Masters of the Universe figures. Obviously in a different scale. It's 5.5 instead of, I believe the original ones are around 8-inch scale. And he did have his arm popped off, but I'm pretty sure if I take this out of the package, I'll be able to put it back on. You'll notice he's a little bit shorter than the Origins figures that I've been collecting over the last couple of years. I still think he looks cool, and I'm excited to get him into my collection. I did pay the full $20 for him. The thing that I'm really excited about is this seemingly sealed Dick Tracy Police Squad car. Now, it seemed like it was sealed, and I asked him if it was sealed. I would buy it, but I was planning on opening it anyway, so I asked him if he could open it up to see if it was at least bagged and not put together and had the stickers on, and it was. Although it was probably the tape had come off of it. It was retaped, but when he opened it up, everything was in bags, and it was perfectly exactly the same as it would have been if you had bought it at the store. All right, so let's get into this box. First, let's take a good look at this box. Pretty much in mint condition, although there are some issues with the corners a little bit. And I really like the back of the box. It's really cool. You've got a comic here. You've got the actual picture of the car. It talks about the durability of the car. You got some fingerprint points, which is 4 points, probably to get something. If there's a brochure in here, we'll definitely take a look at it. You've got all of the things that it comes with. Piercing spotlights, loud wailing police sirens. It's got cop carrying running boards. So it's got opening doors. I think this is going to be a really cool vehicle. Again, this is by Playmates. I believe this was 1990 Playmates, so this is probably when it was made. And if you want to read the comic, you can take a look at that too. I like the caption on the front, though. It says, calling Dick Tracy, grab the boys and get the car. We're taking that gangster down. And again, it gives some information here. And it's kind of that old school 50s vibe too, with the artwork on the front. And catch him to Tracy, meet you at the stakeout. And of course, this is a Canadian version, so you're going to see French. So let's open this up. Now, like I said, we did open it up. There was a piece of tape here that he graciously opened up for me. And here is the car. Nice pristine box. And we have all the parts here. You can see that they are still sealed. This is exactly how it would have came from the store. And I have, like I said, most of the figures, but I'm missing, of course, the hardest figure in this line to collect, which is the Canadian, kind of a Canadian exclusive, the blank, which in the movie you should know, if you're watching this, that it was played by Madonna. And there's the car. a little bit of dust on it from the box, and it's still connected to the bottom, so we gotta pull some of these twist ties off. I usually film here in my basement, so I have a wall of boxes that I like to keep. I don't like to keep a lot of packaging, but there's just some stuff that's worth having. There, that's better. Let's take a look at this vehicle before we put it together. It's got some nice chrome. The wheels are not rubber, they're just a hard plastic. We've got some details on the bottom. Chrome hubcaps, silver painted handles. We've got some stickers in here. They're kind of almost like a shiny, kind of a chromey looking, they're not chrome, but they are painted to kind of have that shiny vibe. We've got a sticker for the floor mat and the pedals on the bottom. And we've got a different colored seat. It's one seat, so you can fit two figures in there. You also have a seat in the back, probably for the bad guy. Put him in the back, take him to jail. And you've got a chrome license plate area here. You'll notice that the chrome here on the corner is a little, almost worn off. I wonder if that was worn off in the box. Chrome on the front, you got your headlights and your grille. Really nice chrome here. I do like the color of the black and white. It's really cool. So we have some bumpers that we have to put on. We have some headlights and taillights we're going to have to put on. Searchlight. This is probably a speaker. Two doors. And I like the detail on the inside with the gray, the white, and the black on the outside, and the painted handles. Of course, we have some stickers. What would toys be without the stickers from the 80s and 90s? The instructions. One-page instructions. Pretty simple. So, loud wailing police sirens. So push down. Push down on the rear of vehicle and move car forward to activate the loud wailing sirens. Okay, so that's actually not electrical, it's more mechanical. I had no idea. All right, well, let's put it together. Number 1, snap driver and passenger doors onto vehicle body as shown. Number 2, snap front bumper onto bottom of vehicle body in the front of the car as shown. So we have 2 bumpers. They look to me like they're exactly the same. So I'm just going to take one of them and connect it here. There we go. So the bumper, it's got like the smiley face, not the frowny face. So it needs to go that way. snap the rear bumper on, same way. So let's do that. Smiley face. Just snaps into the bottom. There we go. Snap headlights onto the front of the vehicle body as shown. Now that headlight was hard to get in, but eventually it just snapped in place. Snap taillights onto the rear of the vehicle body as shown. So these are the taillights here. There's the taillights, really cool. Like how they flare out like that. Step 6 says snap siren on top of vehicle as shown. So we just take it here. It fits on the top of the vehicle here. So one step that they didn't put on the instructions is the searchlight. What you do is you just fit it into the left driver's side door. Although it's not written as a step on the instruction sheet, it does clearly show it in the diagram. Next, let's put the stickers on. So there is no working lights. It's just part of, I guess, loud wailing police siren, working doors for easy copper access, and gunfighting shielding. So it doesn't really say that there is lights, although in the back it did say that it did have piercing spotlight to shine light of justice onto the heart of darkness. So I think that's just the fact that it's telling you that it's a searchlight, but not a working searchlight. But I do like the fact that there's no batteries in this. And it doesn't actually propel forward, it just makes the sound. So that's really cool. I think this vehicle is pretty cool. It's got the opening doors. You put your figures in there. I'm gonna go get some figures and we'll take a look at it with the figures inside and outside of the vehicle. Now, although I really do like this vehicle, it does have some issues. One is, even though it has two doors that open, you can only really get one figure in there. And it's probably, some of it is because, well, he does have a large hat that's really hard. But another issue is how the legs are articulated. And it has those bent knees, really similar to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures from back in the early 90s. This is probably the reason. And really, if you think about it, this car is actually a much smaller scale than what it should be. But probably for costs and stuff like that, they made it the size that they could. I can at least get one figure in there, but there is not enough room for two. And it does have a back seat, but I don't think you'd be able to get a figure in there very easily if you could at all. There are foot pegs here where we can catch him on the side, but really he has to stand like this, or what I like to do is I'd like to just put his arm in the door like this so that it looks like he's holding onto the side. Now you could peg him in if you want to, and it does hold him in there, but really in reality you can just put his arm in there and he will stand just fine. So it is a really cool vehicle. I really like it. Just a little bit out of scale, and unfortunately you can only put one figure in there at a time. Let's see this in action. Really like this toy, but I wish that you could have been able to put more than one figure inside the vehicle, and I wish you could have been able to at least put figures in the back. It would have been really nice to put a baddie in the back. Even if you were perhaps been able to swing the front seat forward to put an extra figure back there, that would have been cool. I like the chrome, and I like the style of the vehicle. I like the artwork on the box with that 50s look, and I really am happy to have this and put that in my collection. I just really feel that when you have a toy line, if you don't have any vehicles or play sets to kind of go with it and you just have a bunch of figures standing there, it really adds to it when you can add something like a vehicle or a play set to make the figures stand out. If I've earned your subscription, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much, and thanks for sticking around. See you later.